How's your guys' Halloween season been so far? It kind of flew by, it feels like, for me.
It's all right. I love Halloween more than any other Hallmark holiday.
Same.
I love getting dressed up, and I don't know. How about you, Andy?
Oh, it's been great.
I wore my little skeleton scarf. Have a little skeleton
There you go.
on here.
You were dressed up very Halloween. Yeah, I love that. Very cool. Well, I'm really stoked to have you guys here. And whenever you sent me the track, Andy, I was really excited about it. And it's amazing. It comes out tomorrow, right? November 1st is when it's coming out, which I think is cool. You're doing a Monday release date. Why are you releasing new static on a Monday? Just because there are no rules and you're making your own? I love it.
Yes, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I think that's cooler than going with the Friday. Yeah. I like that too. It's like make a wish. Here's a brand new song. I feel like the whole Friday thing is kind of played out a little bit. Like everybody does that. It used to be Tuesday. I like the fact that you're doing a Monday, but I want to get into new static. So exactly, first of all, Andy, how did this new project come along? Because Andi Zyland was not you the last time you were here. So tell me how this came to be. Where did this all come from?
I don't know who she is. I'm trying to figure that out.
She's a mystery.
Yeah. So I've been in different musical projects where we've played in Nashville and Louisville. And then of course, I was in the middle of recording an EP with one of my bands when COVID hit. So we've all kind of dispersed, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And my, when things started opening back up, my writing partner and guitarist of 9 years, he got this great opportunity to join a touring band. So it's one of those situations where I was like, that's awesome, but selfishly, what the hell am I going to do now?
Absolutely.
So I knew I'd have to carve my own path, basically. And I wanted to continue writing and recording. I loved the whole process from beginning to end, and I knew I had to figure something out. So that something ended up being, probably one of the best opportunities I could have, which was to work with the Moxie Brothers.
Yeah. Oh, it seems like sometimes when things get bad, amazing stuff comes along, which brings me to asking you, Adrian, how did you and the Moxie Brothers, first of all, discover Andi, and what about her stuck out that you wanted to work with her?
So, my partner, Todd Foreman, and I started working together as the Moxie Brothers in the end of 2018. And the backstory on that is Todd was the saxophone player with Sublime back in the 40 Ounces of Freedom days.
Okay.
And so, but then he went off to Harvard and he's a doctor, but he also still works on music. And so we decided to be partners. And Andy had sent us an email saying, hey, I want to work with you guys. And so she sent us a few songs and we're like, oh, she's got a voice. Let's bat around a couple ideas. And we ended up really kind of starting with a fresh new song, right, Andy? Like pretty much.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, she's pretty brave, I got to say, because she came out from Kentucky to Long Beach, California, all by herself. We could have been a couple creeps, She had no idea.
Yeah.
And I could have been crazy too,
That is true.
Point. It's like, oh boy, we had to spend a week with this human, and it ended up being great because she's a sweetheart. She's, she knows what she wants, but at the same time, she's not too thick-headed to try new ideas and try other things, and so that part made it fun for us. I mean, she's an absolute sweetheart. I would say that if she's not here. And
Thank you.
And because the recording studio is in my house, she kind of became part of the family for a week.
Yeah. That's what she was telling me. We had a conversation about that you guys kind of wrote and worked together remotely from Louisville and out in California. But then she came out to do stuff with you guys and actually be in the studio. And she talked about hanging at your house. And one of the stories she told me was her very first tandem bike ride was with you late at night after a long session. Because I was wondering if you were all work and like no play, or if it's like, let's have some fun and work. I think that answers the question, but tell me about that story.
Well, she was staying at a hotel that was across the street, and we'd had some drinks as the night was winding down, and I said, "I'll take you back, but I don't want to drive." So we got on my tandem bike, and we stopped at the bar along the way. Kept it going.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of a tandem bike.
Yeah, you're not. I don't think you're supposed to ride and drink on a bike, but we did.
Yeah, I think it's the safer of the laws to break. If you have to break one law, break the safer of the two, I'd say.
Probably.
And that night started because he gave me some crap over getting a slice of pizza for dinner the night before at Whole Foods.
I love that.
I like pizza.
Yeah, same. And how was that for you, Andi? Because I know we obviously have spoken that you're obviously a fan of Adrian's drumming, a fan of his band, no doubt, and things like that. How was it to work with him, to sit and be in the studio with someone that you look up to and one of your idols, as you'd say? How was that? A little surreal?
Yeah, it was surreal. We had a lot of fun. I mean, he knows there are some embarrassing moments. You know, just trying to write on the spot. And we were creating while we were in the studio the day we were recording vocals. And but he is really down to earth. He and Todd are a lot of fun to hang out with. So, you know, what could have been an intimidating situation for me they made it really comfortable for me. We had a lot of fun. So
yeah. And I love that. What's the next step looking like? I know the single's out tomorrow. New Static hits all the streaming services and all those sort of things. What's next for Andi Zyland? Are you thinking maybe a full length, maybe some tour dates now that shows seem to be coming back pretty regularly? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm focusing on New Static right now. I have a video that's going to come out in a few weeks too.
Nice.
And, you know, I'm always writing and trying to come up with the next song that I want to take into the studio. And, you know, I had a great time with the Moxie Brothers and loved working with them. And I know the kind of quality product I'm going to get with them. So I would love to be back out in California in 2022. But one way or the other, I'm just going to keep recording and creating. And I just love making music. So I hope to put together an EP by the end of next year, or, you know, somewhere in that time frame.
I love that. Well, I will say this song to me is so cool because it definitely has the best of both worlds. Every once in a while, like a song comes out, and like when I heard this, I can totally see and hear you in it, Andi. And then Adrian, your drums are so signature that as soon as it kicks in, it's like you can just tell that it's you. And it's funny because I was actually a drummer before I was ever a radio guy. And I learned to play drums playing along to the cassette tape of Just a Girl, the single. And I'll never forget being like, 10 years old or 11. And I was down there throwing down, thinking I sounded great. And my mom came down at 8:00 and she was like, "Sound good. Why don't you give it a rest for a couple of days?" So I guess I wasn't quite killing it, but I will say that drum sound is really, really distinct on the record. And do you find, Adrian, sometimes like pressure when artists, like whenever Moxie Brothers want to work with an artist, do you find some pressure they're going to want to get that certain sound, or is that just kind of what you bring to the table?
I think whenever I play with anybody, there's probably some instincts that I naturally go to, but with the Moxie Brother projects, sometimes I don't play because there's a full band already in place. But when it's a solo artist such as Andi, I think every time I end up playing because they want me to, but sometimes they want me to step out of my instincts, which I think is good. And I played on, probably 55 records over the span of my drumming career. And it is different playing in my own band versus playing with someone else, because when I'm in my own band, there's always band politics and my interest and the band's interest and this clash of a four-way marriage. But when you're playing on someone else's record, the job description kind of changes in a sense where my goal is to make whoever I'm playing for really happy to have me playing on it. And if my instincts aren't quite right, or if I need to make adjustments, I just do it.
Yeah, I love that. And also,
go ahead. I was just going to jump in real quick. It was awesome to be in the studio when he was tracking. And Adrian, I think you brought like at least 3 different ideas that you played through when we were trying to figure out what kind of sound we wanted to go with. So it wasn't all figured out until we were there that day.
Yeah.
I got to have some input on it. So it was really cool.
I love that. And I love to hear that, the collaboration kind of thing. It's a situation where you guys work together on the song versus just one person having total control over it. I think that's the way that the best music seems to come out, in my opinion. And since it is Halloween, I do have a 5 random question game I play with bands when they come on the show. And I have a Halloween themed one if you guys would like to play. I always ask.
Sure.
Let's do it. Right on. You guys, it's up to you.
You down?
He just,
what is this all about?
He just closes out of the Zoom. He's like, nope. I love it. 5 random questions here on the Local Buzz with Andi Zyland and Adrian of No Doubt. Something about Halloween everyone loves, but you don't. I'll give you an example of this. I don't really like the song Thriller. I think I just heard it too much, maybe growing up. But what is something about Halloween that everyone seems to love, but you guys just don't?
I don't think everyone else seems to, or maybe some people do. I hate buying a bunch of candy and ending up with not very many trick-or-treaters, and then I end up eating all of it.
Yeah, I know that world. I know that word very well. Question number 2 on the Local Buzz. So this is kind of going into the playlist conversation. What is a song that's not necessarily a Halloween song, but has to be on your party playlist every single year?
That's a tough one.
Roadhouse Blues by The Doors.
Oh, nice. That's a good one. What about you,
I'll
Andy?
say Settle Down by No Doubt. How about that?
Yeah, that counts. That definitely counts. Question number 3 with Andi Zyland and Adrian Young on the Local Buzz. What is the best Halloween movie of all time, and why is it Hocus Pocus? I'm totally kidding. What is the best Halloween movie of all time?
Halloween.
There you go.
Halloween.
The first one. Yeah, fair enough.
Friday the 13th.
Okay. Have you seen the new Halloween movie, Adrian? The brand new one that just came out? Yeah. I don't usually go to the theater, but I was like, you know what? It's October. I'm going to go do it. Question number 4 on the Local Buzz. So ghosts are real, or stop with this insanity? They're clearly not real. What do you think?
I believe in them.
Not real.
I've had weird things happen in my life. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna say
that always seems to be. Yeah. If you've had an experience, yeah, then you definitely believe in it. So I believe that for sure. Question number 5, the final question with Andi Zyland and Adrian Young on the Local Buzz. Would you rather stay in the most haunted house of all time for an entire night, or you have to get back with your ex? Do you choose the haunted house or get back with your ex?
This is a terrible question.
It's easy for me. I'm in the house.
Same.
I might stay in the house just for the fun of it.
Fair
we have
enough.
the Waverly Hills not too far from here. So.
There you go. It's kind of a trick question. I feel like getting back with your ex is kind of a haunted house in itself. So it's all kind of the same.
It'd be
I'm
really
still
hard
good
for me.
friends with my ex, so I don't know. It's not the worst.
It'd be easier for you, Andi, because of that. For me, it'd be a little tough because I've been with my wife for 24 years. So I think a more difficult
Yeah, going way back. Well, guys, it's an honor to have you on the show. Check out the brand new single we're about to play right now, New Static. It's out tomorrow. Andi Zyland, Adrian, honor to have you guys on the show. And anytime you want to come through Nashville, Tennessee, we're always welcome here at 102.9 The Buzz.
The 2 Andys, thank you very much for talking with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.